I've heard a lot of people talk about kind of the more controversial side of music and media and mass media and marketing that's going on, and then also labels being involved in occult practices and stuff like that. Have you had any kind of interaction or firsthand knowledge of any of that kind of stuff going on?
I could say that I've been invited to some of the parties that have turned out to be things of that nature. I've always had a sense when someone invited me that something was off. Um, Kind of like in the intention of how they invited me and sort of the things they would say, I can see from the resonance of what they were talking about. And a lot of times how I access information is based on the resonance of when someone's speaking. So they might be saying certain words, but I'm hearing a different story. Same thing when I'm looking at someone's body language. They might be saying certain words, but I'm hearing a whole different story. And I pay more attention to the underlining tone than the actual, like the branded version. So yes, I have been invited to things that have turned out to be that. I do have friends that have confided in me who've literally cried to me in confidentiality of things that they've seen and they've witnessed. And what I would say that on the outside, it's very clear that there is a certain usage of shocking visuals that are either satanic or that are rooted in over sexualization, and it's being done and then it's being hyped as almost like it's freedom. And if you look at even just the last couple of years, if you look at some of the album covers of some of the major pop stars, there's like upside down crosses in them. There's things that say holy something or unholy, or there's a lot of this usage. And someone could say, well, it's like the satanic panic from back in the day, but this is different because this is being used by people who are selling songs to like 12-year-olds. So it's a little bit different in that. Like some of these artists, their fan base are basically 12 to 21-year-old girls or young boys. And so it's interesting because I've questioned some people, some executives, and I've said, why would you give $1 million contract to a kid who's teaching other kids how to shoot each other? Their answer has never been something based in intention. It's always been, oh, well, people choose what they're going to listen to. And I go, yeah, but if you're programming more people to do it and telling young kids that it's cool, kids are going to follow what they think is going to put them in the tribe of being cool, especially if they feel like they're outsiders. I mean, that's kind of like a no-brainer. Why would you actively and willingly support that? It's like actively and willingly supporting someone who's putting poison into the water. You would say no, but if I say poison into your ear, you say yes. Like, why would you do that? And it's interesting because when I question them, they do come to a place of accountability. Because I'm not afraid to ask an executive, where I think a lot of musicians and producers are afraid to talk with executives as people, because it's always looked at as this, like you're the gatekeeper to a career, rather than you're a friend and we're doing this music industry thing together. And the more that we put our energy in, we're affecting people. That's why there's millions of plays. Some songs have billions of plays, 3 billion plays. But then you watch an interview with some genius mind and it has 100,000. So there's more information being spread around about music than there is, let's say, about true consciousness and how to be reward system about being a good person. So when I've asked them these things, they do come to a moment, and I've been in the meetings with people where they start to laugh when I question them, like, yeah, but this, yeah, but that, and then I don't let them run from it. And I go, no, think about what you're saying. And then there's a change and shift in the room where the other producers and writers are thinking, Adam, why are you asking this person? They might not want to buy our song. There's that thing. And then I'll say, no, I'm just curious. From what you said, can you explain this? How would you say this is great art? And then there's a moment where even the executive then changes because they realized that they weren't being held accountable for even their thoughts, because they were making accounting. They're making money for someone else. Yeah. And so I think it's just one of those things that the more of us that are looking at it as like a brotherhood and a sisterhood of like, what are we really doing? How are we really implanting ourselves and programming these kids? What do we really want to leave behind? And let's be subjective about these things, but also let's have clear thought and not just say it makes money. Because if money is the god, then this planet is just not only much but more demise. That's only going to happen because money will go after anything that's weak and young and just it takes advantage of things. That's how it works. So anyway, yeah, I've seen that a lot.